What's happening, my man? Nah, I sound like it though, don't it? Nah, it's gonna feel like doing it.
This chapter is called Make Room, Help Me to Bloom. Word on the street is coming soon, hear the good news. Turn up the speaker, hear the message through some good tunes. I've been helping me speak, I need the stones about my lab, I pray this gets through. 400 years a slave, okay, that's me too. Seen a lot of depth and it still messes with my mental. Ruach is my teacher, passing every earthly credential. Seeking and I found Yahoo, I'll show you, fam, it's simple. Read the word and know the curses that was on our people. Learn the Torah, have us love, and that is just a prequel. Repent, confess so that you're blessed. Understand besides death, he gave us breath for our redemption. Covered in blood, then he redeemed you. Reveals your purpose, give you work to do. Yes, it's tribulation, but it's purposeful. He gave us all authority to beat the devil. Back in his likeness after cleansing, now the demons tremble. Finally found my way back home again. I don't have to die because of sin. All he needed from me was faith till you show me by your works. Let's pray to Yah, read the word until the dirt can breathe. Cultivate, prepare the way for deliverance. Yah called you out, set us apart as his children. Power to the people, overcoming evil. Messiah came and died, but rose again for the sequel. Now let's arise with the ruach of the good news. By the Torah and the prophets, we proclaim the truth. Hold up, pass my shofar. Cry loud, spare not, let the trumpet sound. Tell our nations to repent, we all judgment bound. But only one is crowned when the lost sheep are found. See Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is our refuge. If they love and hate Messiah, then they love and hate his people. You are my witnesses, declares Yahuwah, and my servant whom I have chosen. Listen up, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Ahad. If we the light of the world, then let's show him our Lord. Hallelujah.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to welcome you to the Old Flex Podcast. I am your host, Yeshua Judah. Yeah, you said I'm not muted. Somebody in text told me I was muted. That's not what it was. What it was is when I recorded that song, my mic was not muted. That's what it was. So, yeah, I was listening to it, and I was probably talking to Safar when I recorded it. So I told our brand new production manager, I said, go ahead and cut that short, man. We had another one on there, but it's all good though. We just got the hot mics just a couple of minutes ago too. Just yeah. We'd like to welcome to the True Beat Flex Podcast. We got Ayo Ben Yahoo with us. We got Oxafly Yashel who with us, and I also would like to introduce our new production manager. His name is Gabe. I'm sure everybody has heard his name. This is why we was talking about hot mics last week, and I was trying to get his attention. Gabe, tell the people what's happening.
Shalom, shalom. How y'all doing, man?
Yeah. Gabe.
One hot mic, Gabe. Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna tag your name.
Yeah, Dave is going to be in with us going forward. He is going to be the production manager. It's going to be his responsibility to make sure that the show is running smooth. In fact, he was the first one to let me know, hey, Pops, your voice is being heard in this song. It's like, yep, right. It's serious.
Right.
It's
well, actually, my daughter, Mahala, came and was like, Daddy, y'all talking. I can hear y'all doing the song. I was like, we're not talking.
We're not talking, yeah. Everything run through. Yeah, everything run through the software, so I got to be real meticulous when I be recording those songs. And I did that early this morning, yeah. And I could have swore I had it muted, but I didn't though. Yeah, it's all good. Most sides here. We got a really, really great show lined up, and everything. How you fellas doing? How your week been so far?
This is cool. Man, my new job, man. I get off 2:30. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, yeah, so know. That's you happy?
Sunday 2:30, bro. Ain't average job 2:30.
Well,
That's all. That's my day. Every day until the kingdom.
to the kingdom.
Period.
That's what he tells me too. Every time I talk to him too, he say, "Bro, I can get up. First thing come out his mouth, brother. I get off at 2:30.
How you doing, brother? Man, I get off at 2:30.
Off 2:30.
I got 2:30.
Good
Get
stuff,
off
man.
at
How you
2:30.
doing, Mr. Tier? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I can't complain at all, man. I used to hear my mom say when I was young. I never understood what she was talking about till I got old. I'm doing better than I deserve. Most High has been good to me, man. I cannot complain whatsoever. Family is healthy. I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? Most High done blessed me with a great extended family. So you know, man, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great.
Oh,
Yeah. But since we had to cut the show short, the song short, the intro song short. It was some new developments in the Tyree Nichols case I kind of want to talk about. I don't know if you guys have heard about the Memphis fireman Robert Long, one that got fired, the white guy. You know, it was actually 3 firemen that got fired, right? It was the lieutenant, the black lady. It was a black cat, and it was a white dude as well, right? Some of the things that Robert Long has said, I hear a radio or something. I don't know. I hear somebody got a radio going on.
Nah.
It sounds like a radio in the background.
Or radio.
Yeah, TV or something like that. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Not be nobody in here with no TV or radio on.
Yeah, ain't nothing that going on in here either. In fact, I'm gonna turn my ring off.
Better not be.
Yeah. But all right then, Robert Long though, man, I wanna mention some of this stuff that he was talking about here. It says this was Friday, this was a couple of weeks ago. Robert Long told the Tennessee Emergency Medical Services Board that he said that the Memphis police officers, and he's talking about when he got on the scene, right? He said that the Memphis police officers was preventing patient care when he found Tyree Nichols sitting on the ground and propped up against the police car on January the 7th. He said the Memphis Police Department is leaning over the patient and saying loudly that the patient is not going anywhere and that they are not going to uncuff him, which is getting in the way of patient care. This is what he said while he was pleading his case because he was trying to get reinstated, right? Long said that no one told him not to treat the person. He also said that he thought that Nichols didn't want to be treated. Now we saw the beating, right? Everybody that got eyes seen the beating, right? He said that he did not think that Nichols wanted to be treated because he rolled away when Sandrich, which was the black guy, tried to take his vitals, but he didn't say anything to the effect. He said he looked at the patient and based on what I knew, there was nothing that made me think that he was in critical condition. That popped out at me as an EMT. He rolled up on the scene. I can only imagine what Tyree looked like, right? And for him to make the comment that when he looked at him, there was nothing about him that said that he was in critical condition.
What?
Yeah, that was my thought exactly. As an EMT, I that really baffles me. Regardless if Memphis Police Department, we all got jobs, right? And we go to work to perform our job. We're not going to allow somebody to keep us from doing our job. You see what I'm saying? If you are in the way of me doing my job, I'm gonna have to remove you so that I can do my job, because my livelihood depends on me doing my job. They hired you to save lives. That's what they hired you to do. So when you roll up on the scene, people in today's time go to jail for being in a restaurant and seeing somebody choking, and if they know CPR, they don't give them CPR on a Heimlich.
Right.
You are
Right.
full-blown EMT. They got out of an EMT truck.
Right.
Regardless of what Memphis Police Department is telling you at this particular time, right? Your job is to go to this man and make sure that this man is okay. But what I can't fathom, though, Safar and Ayob, is what was he looking at when he said that nothing about him made him think that he was in critical condition?
It leaves me. I don't even understand. I mean, we talked about it the other week, and I had my boots on today, my Gore-Tex boots. Now, Gore-Tex, everybody knows it's if you don't know, it's like a synthetic type of plastic that hardens. So they make the cop boots, army boots, and they sell those boots in Walmart Academy. So without the boots being steel toe, those Gore-Tex, it's almost like having steel toe boots on. I had them on today, and I was going into the store, mess around and kick the door. I didn't even really feel it. He was kicked in the face with those type boots repeatedly. So just that alone, not even being hit with the batons, would say this man needs aid. His life is on the line. So them saying or making an excuse, or he didn't look like he needed aid or anything like that, that is just, bro, you got to be something built different to say something like that. To say that man didn't need any aid rendered, you got to be something different. That's my take on it. That's crazy.
Yeah, come. For him to see the man roll over on his face, roll over,
right,
slumped over, falling around, bleeding everywhere, and just gonna not assume, just gonna say that he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need anything at all. As EMTs, on the scale of along EMTs and along with everybody else that's under the force, under the government, it's no help at all. No help, and we got to turn the world.
That's exactly what that was exactly what I got from it. So far as that, they had absolutely no care for that man that was on the ground. Nobody around. I don't know what version of video you guys seen, but at one point I know there was at least like 15 to 25 people that was on that scene at one time, and everybody around Tyree Nichols as if he wasn't there. They was holding conversations about stuff that they was going to be doing when they got off work, and you know what I'm saying, including EMT was there. Now check this out. Whenever the EMT and fire and police departments are on the scene, don't firemen also have to be on the scene as well?
Absolutely.
They the first ones on the scene because they departments are the closest.
We have all three first responders on the scene, and nobody
right,
gave this young man any type of help. We don't know. His life probably could have been saved.
Probably. I mean, if all three emergency advocates and first responders can roll up when somebody is on fentanyl overdosing and save them, then you're right. Tyree Nichols probably should be alive right now.
Probably should be alive right now. I mean, how long did they say that he stayed out there on the curb? You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard a story yet about him putting him in an ambulance and taking him to the house. Matter of fact, when they went to go talk to the mama, they never told the mama really what type of condition that he was in. Yeah. And this was him before the board trying to get himself reinstated. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he thought that through before he went to them. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think that he thought it through right.
Yeah. He just made it like a privileged decision. Oh, I'm gonna just go. And that was real strange to me. That was something that stuck out to me, man. For EMT, an emergency, an ambulance guy. I don't know what you call it, but for him to say that when he looked at him, the two things he said that I didn't think that he needed, that he wanted help. It's not your job. It's not your job. You know what I'm saying?
decline this man help if he don't want it. Your job is to try to get this man help.
Right.
That's what your job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My daughter was in a bad car accident not too long ago. Well, I would say about 15 years ago, and they was putting her in the ambulance. The whole time they discussing, are we going to go to Cracker Barrel, or are we going to go to Waffle House? Are we going to go here? And my wife got upset. I'm talking about like big time upset that we followed them. So yeah, they don't care, and that's why this is like hitting me so hard because I went through, man. They do not care. That's why she was in a bad car accident.
Right, exactly. For him to say I didn't think that he wanted help, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me within itself. And then for him to say that, you know, it wasn't anything about him that said that he needed critical help. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, you know, all of us go to work. All of us go to work on days and don't feel like working. But when you are in that type of a job, you don't get the privilege to go to work and not want to work. Every day you go to work, you got to go to work to work. Your people's lives are dependent on you coming to work and you doing the job, you know. So when you look at that and that statement, it almost make me say it, you know, and I'm always, you know, on a whole other side of the fence, but it almost make me say that he probably need to be indicted right along with the police officers. Because the police officers, they actually murdered him, but you didn't help the situation as an emergency. What they call
EMT officers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You didn't make the situation any better. You probably could have saved a man's life if you had done your job.
Right. Yeah. I mean, move out the way. I know you the police, but I'm the EMT officer.
I'm the EMT officer.
Right now, my power is more than yours. Move out the way.
Yeah.
Life is on the line. This man is dying.
Move out the way.
And both of them are under certain oaths that they have to carry behind a shield. Right. Image of evidence.
Right.
Exactly.
They both have badges on.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about those developments, man. And to me, the more and more comes out, I just think Cheryl and CJ Davis, the more and more we hear stuff, man, I just don't see how she gonna keep her job. I'm sorry.
I believe Cheryl Davis, when this is all over with, I believe Cheryl Davis is going to lose her job, and I don't believe that she's going to be able to have another law enforcement job anywhere else. Real quick, before we go to our Beyond Critical Race Theory, you know, she was started in Atlanta. I just found out that she left Atlanta after the charges, the allegations that she had in Atlanta with the sexual predator that was on the force. Well, when she left Atlanta, she actually went to one of the Carolinas, and she was a chief there. That's where she cleaned up. She went to one of the, I don't forget if it was North Carolina, South Carolina, but she went to one of the Carolinas and she was a chief. And that's where she cleaned up her image and got away from in Atlanta. So when she left, that's how she ended up in Memphis. And so with her being a high-ranking police officer, it's nothing to wash that stuff off your record. So Memphis probably did not know about what went on in Atlanta. She applied
last.
Exactly. They went by her last. Exactly. So, but I feel her name is everywhere now. Everybody knows Cheryl and CJ Davis now. So she's not gonna be able to run from this.
Yeah, she can't go nowhere without. Yeah,
wow. She ain't gonna be able to run from this. So yeah, she I don't think she's.
She be Herschel Walker running mate. She could definitely be Herschel Walker running mate.
Herschel Walker.
Yep.
Herschel Walker and Cheryl and CJ Davis.
Yeah, running mates.
No, hey, with that, we're gonna go to our Beyond Critical Race Theory.
We're gonna leave that alone.
We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave it alone.
Man.
brother. Yo,
Boy, on deck. We got a good one tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and bring back our we talked before about the Breakfast Club having a donkey of the day. Well, I guess you can call us the Breakfast of the Night Club because we got a Mr. Ed of the Week.
good.
Mr. Ed of the Week has returned. And boy, this is a doozy for the day. This
Please, Wilbur. I'm not wearing pajamas.
y'all heard that he ain't wearing pajamas. And these folks sure ain't wearing pajamas. They start naked out here in the world with this foolishness they got going on. So listen to this. Today's Beyond Critical Race Theory, man. We got a good one. I got an article from the Washington Post, right? And we've been hearing a lot about this for the past couple few years, hearing it sparingly, kind of all over the place. You hear a little bit about it, but then you don't hear about it. Hear a little bit about it, but then you don't hear about it. And we are talking about the all infamous reparations. Reparations. So San Francisco has decided to actually make a proposal to give qualified Black residents $5 million each. And they say it would be, check this out, financially ruinous for the city. And even some reparation advocates dismiss that $5 million figure as an unrealistic, check this, distraction. That's what they call it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I know if I let somebody borrow $20 to go get an all-star slam breakfast at Waffle House and they tell me they're going to pay it back, or even if they don't tell me they're going to pay it back, next time it's time to eat, I'm going to be looking for that to be given back. Right? Okay, so I wanted to just read something right quick. Let's go to Joel 3. I think everybody knows where I'm going. Joel 3:4. Before I read this article and get into this. So Joel 3:4, it talks about how the Most High was talking about the recompense, right? So it says, yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, O Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Now remember Palestine, we're gonna jump into something later. We're gonna tie this thing together. He says, will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Now keep that verse in mind before as we read this. All right, now this is the Washington Post, a column written by Mr. Emmanuel Felton, which is so-called African-American, one of the editors at this paper. He writes, tasked with calculating how much San Francisco should pay its Black residents for decades of discrimination, a government-appointed panel didn't develop a mathematical formula. Instead, over the past year and a half, its 15 members have been studying the city's history. So they kind of don't have a plan. They kind of just got together out of their own hearts and said, we got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Just let's keep going. In the 1960s, city leaders demolished part of the Fillmore district, a neighborhood once known as the Harlem of the West. Check this. Displacing 883 businesses and 20,000 people, most of them Black. Decades later, thousands of people remain displaced, and the neighborhood has turned into a predominantly white enclave of multi-million-dollar homes. Says to compensate for that and other instances of racial discrimination, the city's African-American Reparations Advisory Committee recently recommended that qualifying Black residents receive $5 million each in reparation. Now, listen to this language. I'm gonna read a couple of languages. This we talked about last week, how they word things, how they put things together to kind of slither and scooch, if that's a word, scooch out of their responsibility. Now remember, we just read the Most High said, if you the recompense, I'm gonna return it upon your own head. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So listen to this. Eric McDonald, chair of the reparations committee, excuse me, he said that there wasn't a math formula. It was a journey for the committee towards what could represent a significant enough investment in families to put them on this path to economic well-being, growth, and vitality that chattel slavery and all the policies that flowed from it destroyed. Now you see how they worded it. Now, if I, like I said, if I borrow money from somebody, you ain't got to word it, make all these variable big choice of words. Just give me the money back. If it's old, if you know that San Francisco, 883 businesses, 20,000 black people, 883 businesses that are now multi-million-dollar homes in white suburban neighborhoods. How did y'all start those homes? With what money? The money that is owed. That's what a reparation is. All right, let's keep going. It says across the country, more than a dozen cities and states have begun developing reparations programs. Listen to the wording. Attempting to quantify the financial damage brought by slavery and decades of Jim Crow laws. Some proposals envision offering scholarships or housing vouchers, while others call for Black Americans to receive cash payments. Once again, he just told you that's not even a formula. We just sort of got together and started learning the city's history. So they telling you this is not a real plan. We just kind of got together and we feel like we need to do something. Okay. It goes to say finding a price tag big enough to satisfy reparations advocates and yet politically palatable to the many Americans. Polls have shown oppose financial restitution for Black Americans could determine the fate of a movement that gained momentum after George Floyd's murder in 2020, but has yet to find national acceptance. You mean to tell me since we were 1860s to now, it took y'all George Floyd's murder to get serious about reparations? See, that should tell you where their heart is, right? So John Dennis, chairman of the San Francisco Republican Party, says that he's open to a conversation about whether Black residents should receive reparations, but that proposal wasn't a serious effort to start one. He says, this is just a bunch of like-minded people who got in the room and came up with a number, he said. You will notice in that report, there is no justification for the number. No analysis provided. This was an opportunity to do some serious work, and they blew it. Now, that's one of the chairman from the Republican Party. He says, even he noticed, y'all ain't serious. This was a chance to really do something about. You know why? Because he probably understands Joel 3. See, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of politicians that graduated from these schools that seem like they don't know what's going on, but trust me, they've read the book. And at some point, they figured out who the book was talking to, who was doing the talking, and they know in Joel 3 and Joel 1 and 2 what's going to happen. They've read Exodus. They've read Exodus 12. They know the plagues. They know why this is happening right around the same time of recompense. You got stuff going on in Ohio. You got people getting shot in the streets, and they don't look like me. That's what they're saying. You see what I'm saying? So once again, San Francisco, are you serious? 400 years, 5 million apiece? Come on, man. Y'all the real Mr. 8 of the week, for real. $5 million. From what I understand, it's in the trillions. The money owed from cotton, sugar, salt, whiskey. Y'all didn't use y'all feet to step out on grapes to sell wine in Italy. It was us who opened up businesses with that money that was owed that you never paid. Like I said the other week, just ride around. Look at some of these signs that these businesses open. 1908, 1898, 1911, 1920, when they were established. Guess what they were established from? If I gave my son a car, right, and he souped it up, put good wheels on it, and the neighbor down the street stole it, and then I die and he die, guess what? The neighbor down the street, that's still not your car.
Mm-hmm.
You stole it. It's still, and it was my family's car. So the same applies. So yeah, that's my take. I want to know what you guys feel about that. Can you dig it? Is $5 million enough, or is it a slap in the face? Your thought.
What you got, Safa?
What about now? Can you hear me?
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
Okay. That's a lot that was said in that, man. Even when I got bumped off, I still heard it. And they tug at the heart with something deep as the death of that stage play they had a while back with that George Floyd stuff. And then they got to know it's politician pool. It's this and it's that pool, man. $5 million? That's a write-off. That's a write-off.
Right.
They don't mean that. They $5 million. And this is, man, I'm not going to be challenging, but it's a whole bunch of monkeys out there that's going to be dancing. Now, am I going to refuse it? No. I'll probably put on a monkey outfit to blend in, look like I'm dancing. But at the same time, I understand what it's for. I know we work more than that. And for them to sit there and go around the world just to shut us up about reparations is going to work.
Right. Yeah.
I'll buy it. There we go.
Yeah. They like to run games, man. And that's one of the things you was alluding to, Ayo. I don't believe that from their heart they have no intentions on giving anything at all.
Right.
That's why the guy said there is no mathematical equation to the number that they came up with. So in other words, all they did was they put words out in the air to make us as black people, especially those in California, to get a hope. You dig what I'm saying? To give them some kind of hope. Oh, they talking about giving us $5 million a piece, right? But to answer your question, is $5 million enough? No. In fact, there's no amount of money that could be enough for what they have done. No amount of money. And our power knows this so much to the point that he is not going to even allow them to put a price tag on what you're going to give us. In fact, he say, look, this second Exodus is going to be so marvelous.
Come on.
That people don't forget about that first Exodus, right?
Right.
You're not going to tell my people what you're going to give them. I'm going to take it from you and give it to them.
Come on. That's it.
When we left up out of Egypt, Pharaoh gave us everything. Take whatever you want. Just get away from him. And with the calamities that you see that's going around the world right now, they can keep playing these games if they want to. And like you made, I love how you made the illusion that maybe this cat know about Joel, because there are plenty of people in council that know this word.
Yes.
And they telling them, hey, just like Balaam told yeah, exactly. Hey, I can't curse who is not cursed.
Right.
I can't curse.
And that's
not.
And the Most High said it in Joel 3. He be like, how you gonna give me back what was mine anyway?
You see what I'm saying? Exactly. So they keep playing these games if they want to. Ayo, it's a five. Look, man, $5 million. All that was is to tell us to be quiet, sit around here, because they still want us to hope on them. Like we talked about last week, when the people asked for a king to rule over us like the other nations, Most High told Samuel, say, man, be quiet, because it's not you they rejected me. When we realize where our power and our hope is from, we're not going to want you 5 million, because we know that when your kingdom fall, ours is going to come right in, and everything that the locusts done took from us, Most High gonna give it back, man. We ain't worried about their $5 million at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but there's gonna come a time when they gonna start throwing for real money at us.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sending me that, y'all. When Shir sent me that, I saw Exodus. The 10th chapters leading up to 12, 34, 35, and 36, which we're going to get into that later. And I also saw Yoel 3. I seen all of that. Because once again, when you read it at face value, oh, okay, they serious. But as I got to reading the article, they own people's like they blew it. They ain't ready to give nobody no money. They just doing this, y'all, just to pass time by. And I was like, wow.
It's a bunch of hot air. And then you think about too, how many years have they been saying that California is bankrupt? Well, we know the whole nation is bankrupt, but they make it an effort to put in the news that California is bankrupt. So if California is bankrupt, you right now is being plundered by a storm that is killing just about the whole state of California. We're going to get into that tonight. Where you going to get the money from?
Right.
The so-called money from to give every black, and then they also made another thing. I'm glad I thought about it. Qualifying black people. Who's to say who's qualified?
Y'all deciding? Really? Is it a survey we take? Is it a questionnaire? Like, what do you?
I bet you got to be light skinned with green eyes. You know what I'm saying? Be too black.
Article. Right. Bro, reading that article, I had to stop. That's why I just outlined some bullet points, because the rest of it, you would be like, wow, these people is really killing themselves thinking they're doing something. Qualified.
Qualified people. Yeah, man. So we appreciate that. Beyond critical race theory, the governor. Who get the Mr. Ed of the week, my man?
San Francisco government, the whole city of San Fran. Get Mr. Ed of the week.
You get a rainbow donkey. You get them a rainbow donkey.
They get Mr. Ed of the week.
Yeah, rainbow Ed.
The breakfast at night club.
We appreciate that, Mr. Ayo Ben Yahoo. That was a great Beyond Critical Race Theory. And go back and look at that town. What was the name of that town again, man? I hope people did not miss what he said about that town, because that's part of the reparations. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Businesses, 20,000 people, 883 black-owned businesses.
Everybody only talked about Wall Street in Oklahoma. We was flourishing everywhere, and they destroyed all of it. And you want to come to me with $5 million, man? You better get out of here, man. What is $5 million? What is $5 million? Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and get to our next song break. Our first music break. We come back. We're gonna keep the show rolling. Appreciate that, Mr. Ayo.
raindrops in my eyes. My son, I couldn't raise them, but now I can tell them why. Introduced to the code, my motive, I was a hustler. Dead broke with no ends, my friends, I couldn't trust them. Running in the fast lane, narcotics tried to bust me. Had a job, working hard, 9 to 5, wasn't cutting it. Probably could've if I wasn't trying to live the fast life. Falling in the fast lane, caught up in the dope game, dope game.
Yeah.
Already,
like
man. Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
like that.
And me and my boy, we was sitting there saying a while ago, he sound like he from Houston. He got another song. I've never heard of that cat till today. Ben Zion Judah is his name. Yeah, Ben Zion Judah. He got a lot of heat, man. So yeah. He got that Southern Texas swag about it, man.
Yeah.
I was about to say, sound like he could be a switcher house or rap a lot R&B cat. You know that style flavor. Yeah.
I saw Brew News in the house. We'd like to say shalom, sister Shalom. Jamel the Trump is in the house as well. You brother.
Album dropping tomorrow. Got that album dropping tomorrow, man.
Yeah, y'all saw that today, man. Y'all brothers doing some big things, man, for the nation of Israel, man.
Man, he sent me that song "Shine" with him and Hondo. I was like, yeah, I got to get on this, man. It's a real soulful song, and I'm excited to hear this album from my brother.
Oh man, I can't wait. I told you got me over here geeking, dude. You know let's get into some Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union news right quick, man. These cats here, they're going, as my wife said, these jokers going to hell with gasoline draws on. They probably going to be at the forefront. They probably going to be at the forefront of and leading everybody right on in, because the things that they're doing to this child, you know, it's sad. And this is the thing. And I was thinking about this earlier today, when I was thinking about the show. Whenever we see that boy on TV, right? Zion, That's his name, Zion. Whenever we see Zion on TV, we always see him being happy. We see him, you know what I'm saying, as if he's comfortable in the life that he lives, and he very well may be. But what we don't see is how he is living his life outside of the camera. We don't know if this kid is happy. We don't know if this kid is sad. We don't know if this kid is crying himself to sleep every night. What we see is two grown people that is being very irresponsible and parading this kid around, and they're benefiting off of this kid. If you don't think that D Wade and Gabrielle Union is benefiting financially off of the things that they're doing to this boy, something is wrong with you, man. Something is wrong with you. Now, the story that I got a lot of issues with, because we got the NAACP, which is the National Association Advancement for Colored People. And with a name like that, you would think that they would be all for what's good and what's right for our people, right? We've always heard about the NAACP. They always asking for money, want you to donate. And this is one of the reasons why I donate to no charity. I don't donate because you never know where your money is going to be going. Right. Before I go to the article, I'm going to go to a video clip, right? They received an award from the NAACP, right? An award for, I think, it was an image award. That's what it was. Exactly. Man, you couldn't have said it no better. Those two are running, those two families is running neck and neck, because I just saw a picture of Will Smith and them son. That dude there, man. I mean, and they just look sad. Willow and Jay, they look sad, man.
They do. They look like they cry themselves to sleep. For real. I'm for real.
They look sad. They look sad. But let's get into this video clip. Let's get into this video clip of when they received their image award from the NAACP.
Thank you, Derek, and the NAACP. It's humbling to stand here surrounded by friends and heroes, OGs and icons, all working to advance the lives of Black people and pay respect to an organization that has led us through over a century of relentless challenge, pain, triumph, and change, and now stands with us again at the foot of a very new era of activism. A new era that demands our collective answer to one simple question. Will we fight for some, or will we fight for all of our people? Let's just name a couple hard truths. First, the intersection of Black rights and the rights of the LGBTQIA, trans, and gender nonconforming people continues to be rough. That's a huge understatement. Even as we demand equality at the top of our lungs, we consistently fail to extend our advocacy to protect some of our most vulnerable among us. And second, Black trans people are being targeted, terrorized, and hunted in this country. Every day, everywhere. And there's rarely a whisper about it. We honestly don't approach this work as activists or leaders as much as we do this as parents. Parents who love our children and will do whatever the hell we can to keep them seen and secure and safe. This is a conversation worth having in ways that can actually build bridges, right? That don't fan the flames of hatred or division. That don't enable lawmakers or justice systems to look the other way when Black trans people are under attack. They don't drive more young people to hate themselves or harm themselves. They don't cost people their lives. So we are humbled and we are hopeful for the future. I'm hopeful We are hopeful that we may witness a real shift in the fight for justice. The moment the movement makes room for everyone. Everyone. Thank you.
That, my friend, was probably the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. And if you wonder why, in the book of Esdras, the Most High told Esdras, he said, look here, Esdras. He said, as a husbandman plants seeds, he said, he don't expect all of them to grow. He know that some of them is not going to come up, but he planted a whole lot of seeds. And he went on and explained to him, he said, in this kingdom right here, there is many, but for the kingdom to come, it's going to be few. And when you look at that room in whom Gabriel Union was talking to, that was a whole Colosseum filled with black people. Israel, as Yasha called the children of the kingdom, that's who he called them. That was a whole room. And from what I could see, that entire room was in agreement with what she was talking about. It was in agreement with what she was talking about. So if you wonder how it's going to be just a few, there you go right there. Look at the room. Look at the message that she was talking about. Another thing that I want to mention before I go on with this, if you wonder why is it, and this is something that we talk about a lot on this show, that whatever agenda it is that they be trying to push, they use us to push it, right? If you wonder why that is, because Revelations, I believe, is chapter 12, it tells us that the dragon was wroth with the woman, and he went to make war with the remnant of her seed. The dragon knows exactly who we are. Whether any dignitary, any council, any president, any king, if they don't know who we are, the dragon know who we are. He know who we are, and he know who we belong to. So if there's anybody that he want to keep out of the kingdom, it's going to be us. And he understands that our greatness can get anything moved. We got real live issues out here, fellas. We just got through talking about Tyreek Nichols getting beat to death by the police. And here she is talking about transgenders being hunted every day. Tell me where they being hunted at, man.
Right.
Where are they being hunted at?
I couldn't tell you. She said
I ain't seen
every day, everywhere.
That's what she said. Question that I have, man. One of the questions that I have is, what more do they want, man? Explain it to me.
They took all the colors, all the letters, what's that, the numbers?
Every time they say the LGBTQ stuff, they add another letter to it, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What is IA? LGBTQIA.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot on the minute. I tell you, it's a lot, and it's a number.
Was it insects and
armadillo? They got a number inside that joker too. Two spirits. I think that's what two stands for. Two spirits. But I'm tripping on how it was. All the black women was in agreements, man. They showed nothing but concerned black women. And she was standing so strong on her words and coming with force and aggravation behind it. And you seen every last sister in there, just like you say, church, like we at church. And then you got old Dumbo behind him. That is true, behind him, standing up for his goddamn husband wife. I'm trying to keep it very, very mature. He's standing up for his husband wife, and just got the whole audience in awe for a boy in a dress.
Jezebel and Ahab.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. As Gabe said, she is running a marriage, and she is. All you got to do is just go back and look at clips. And Yamaya, she said the Wade family and the Smith family, exactly, because that was the same thing that was happening with Will Smith. But this is something that Dwayne said as well. I didn't play his I didn't play his video clip, but he said, listen to these words, man. Dwayne Wade said, I am intentional when I use my platform. You hear that word, intentional? I am intentional when I use my platform. He said, I recognize that I have been given what I have been given, and it is my job to uplift the voices of others and share my access and resources. Listen to this, man. Remember when Satan took Yasha on a high mountain? What did he say? And he showed him all the kingdoms, and he said, all of this I give to you if you bow down and you worship me. Now listen to what Wade just said. I am intentional when I use my platform. I recognize what I have been given. Where is he? What have he been given? Pretty much the world. Where did he get it from? He know where he got it from. Mastema, exactly. Just like us, what do we say in the Hebrew tongue? We'll say Kal Yadad, which means what? All praises.
All praises.
When the Most High done did something good for us, we give him his what? We give him his praise for what it is that he has done for us. This statement right here was him telling you that, yeah, he sacrificed his son without even thinking about it because he recognized what he has been given.
Man. Wow.
And I intentionally use my platform. He came out and verbally said this, but people, when they hear that, what they hear is what? This is a good father. He is he's allowing his son to live comfortable in what it is. No, this man said, I recognize what I have been given.
Man, that's heavy. That's heavy.
I think I'm in agreement with you, man. That boy, that young man ain't happy at home. That young man ain't happy at home at all. It's like, cause she's an actress. Has she done anything since he didn't got on this issue? We already know that the Smiths ain't done nothing, but Augustus. They ain't seen him do nothing at all since they boy haven't gotten started on this.
It's going to be a matter of time. You're going to start seeing him own a whole bunch of stuff like Magic did. Magic, you know what I'm saying? You hadn't heard nothing from Magic when he had retired from basketball for a long time. Then all of a sudden he started popping up in 24-hour fitness commercials. Then you start learning that he had owned commercials. Then 24-hour fitness franchise. Then he was owning Burger King franchises and all kind of stuff. And then on top, you see EJ. You see EJ, the 7 foot Nephilim looking faggot. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because what Magic did to his son, what Will is doing with their kids, and what Wade Nim is doing to this boy, they're all the same thing. And they recognize what they have been given. Therefore, they have to play a part.
It's crazy.
When he said that, man, I said to myself, this dude right here in front of everybody is telling the world,
right,
that he sacrificed his kid.
He sacrificed
to Molech.
To Molech.
And enjoy doing it.
And enjoy
right.
And enjoy doing it.
That's the kicker right there. Money, fame, more fortune. He ain't never got he don't have to dribble a basketball another day.
He ain't got to no pig on the skin.
Gabrielle Union, the only script she got to read is the script she just, you hear what she said, a new era of activism.
That's exactly what she said.
That's ushering in something.
Right. So
in the basketball world, when we usher in a new era, the bad guys take over.
Right. That's it.
And so this is a spirit. This is a spirit, like Safar was saying, from Mastema. And these are fiery darts that are aimed at us as a people because they know who we are, man.
Right.
And the thing that gets me, man, is when Yasha made the comment. We gonna go on, but Yasha made a comment. A centurion came to him. And a lot of Hebrews like to fly by this here, man, as if this part is not in the Bible, but it's there. A centurion came to the Messiah and said, hey, I got a servant at the house that's sick. Messiah said, I come to your house. He said, nah, don't come to my house. I don't need you to come to my house. He said, because I'm a man under authority and I understand authority. I tell a man to come here and he come. I tell a man to go there and he go. He said, all you got to do is speak the word and I know that everything will be all right. And the Messiah stopped and he paused. And remember, this was a Gentile centurion. This was a Greek that said this. The Messiah paused and he said, I have not seen this much faith, no, not even in the house of Israel. And he said, many people from the east and from the west is going to sit down at the table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, but the children of the kingdom is going to be cast into outer darkness, and it's going to be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. And you want to know why? Look at the Colosseum in which she was talking to. That was a room full of black people. This was the NAACP Image Award, and all of those people was in agreement with her. Nobody got up and told her to shut up. Nobody is telling her that she is wrong. And if anybody do tell them that they're wrong, they're going to get ostracized. 12-year-old kid. 12-year-old kid, when he decided that he no longer wanted to be a boy, he wanted to be a girl. And the whole world is supposed to be okay with that.
And the ones that's not okay, we just can't be not okay. They make us, oh, you're homophobic, and they be it's crazy.
Yeah.
Why can't I just not?
Exactly. And it burns me up, yo, if it's a fire when a homosexual be like, you black. How can you feel that way about homosexuals? What me being black and you being a homosexual got anything to do with the sun coming up in the east and setting in the west? Explain it to me.
It is not the same, my friend. It's not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same.
It is not the same.
That's crazy.
Yep.
They got that money from it though.
So yeah, man, with that, man, I don't know. We ain't never gave two donkeys, but say, man, that whole family, you ain't gonna put it out there. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yes, but Ned Shala Hayat answered the question to what those extra letters are. I had no idea, but it says questioning intersex, pansexual, two-spirit, asexual, and ally. I'm dyslexic.
No, it's Ally. Is it Ally? Ella?
Say, man, go ahead.
In 98.
What is a pansexual? What is that?
Man, I think they, when you look at Pan-African, they like all black dude. Oh, pansexual, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Them jokers, they go out there and make love to a tree if they feel like it. And they'll be all right with that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey. Because they pansexual. Let's get on to this next song break, man. Let's get on to this next song break. This is going to be one of the reasons. This is one of the things that is going to usher in this our kingdom, though. You know, these are the things they do because they do this, and it's like it's hunting the bear. You know what I'm saying? How many times can I come to an egg at your car and not expect you to catch me?
Not too long.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey.
Right.
They hunting the bear, man. Let's get to this next song break.
Here to the Lord. Hallelujah. Hey, don't be taken back by what you see. That shit ride, 88. Be obedient. Trust in the Lord. Embrace the spirit. Hey, we need you to screw us. It's easier than you think. Iron sharpens iron. It only take a few good brothers. Let's get it. It's the mush. Gotta apply it. How they script. Well, how let you phone? Let's be for real, know how you feel. Some of that Oscar leave you with a bad taste. You know the fruits of the spirit. You lay it all out, tell me how. When I was in the trap, first time your folk heard about the truth. Blowing gas, laughing like they boys and fools. Had bad, look at that, homie proof. Ain't bad with it, but it's here. Move. My spirit been witness. Needless to say, your folk was a dig. Went do it like Joe, that double up. Took away the cigarettes, relieved all the stress. The point of the story, don't let what you're going through cause disobedience. Pray I'm ready for the ones allotted to. What you going through, y'all let me help you. I know you might not think you where you wanna be. Let me help you with it, we'll get where we wanna be. I admit myself that I ain't for real. Pray I'm in the spirit, bro, that's it. I know you might not think you where you I pray we stay in the spirit, bro, that's it. Y'all admit it, I ain't don't let that stop you from uniting. Let's do it, bro, don't let that hold you back. It's time right now. All praise to the Most High, now you know who you is. Now you know where you're from. Now you know why you come. Now you know who salvation from. Now you know they about to be hating more. Now you know temptation come. Get made go for testimony. Sirach 1:1. Translated in another tongue. The word loses power. So we say Kala. Yahweh Bashem. Yahweh Shai. Kwame Yasharah. Rakadash. Y'all can come in it. And it's sitting in line. You're renewing your heart. You're renewing your mind. I know you might not think you where you wanna be. Let me help you with it. We'll get where we wanna be. I admit myself that I ain't pray I'm in the spirit, bro, that's it. I know you might not think you I pray we stay in the spirit, bro, that's it. Hey, I'll admit it, I ain't don't let that stop you from uniting.
Must go get it in time. Got a call from the Akanor like we overdue, rock, we gotta work. So you know I had to drop a verse. Guard your light and put the Father first. Luke 11 verse 10, truth ain't hard to find, you just gotta search. My ox used to be members, now they members of the body. Who gon' stop the church? We ain't quite where we wanna be, but we doing a little better. Remember I was on the streets doing freestyles trying to warn the sheep. And them nights cold, couldn't go to sleep, that's facts. Flesh was saying give up, you should wait till you get on your feet. Holy Spirit said something different. Look, you gotta start somewhere. Ain't the kingdom where you wanna be. Have faith, that's substance. There's some things you ain't gonna see. Jacob go and tell the lost tribes that we got a king and he hold the keys. On the last day I pray let us in, wipe away our tears and we never leave. I know you might not be where you wanna be, but if you have not and ask not, you never gonna receive. I pray we get on one accord with it, never forfeit it. If you want a crown, must go and get it.
I know you might not think you I pray we stay in the spirit, bro, that's it. Hey, I'll admit it, I ain't don't let that stop you from uniting.
Yeah.
Already. Say, man, they would lighten it up in the comments. I ain't see.
Yeah.
And they funny too. Say a tree.
Right.
Yeah. It was tree humper, but multiverse. I believe he said that what was it that he said? Let me get back over there. He said something. Let me get down there. Was multiverse. Yeah, multiverse. Don't suffer which to live, and you are exactly right. Don't suffer, and what we don't know is when we spend our monies and our energies to buy these people's music and watch these people in what they call art, suffering them to live. You know, we got to understand, and that's what David said. David made a comment, and don't get me wrong, man, I watch movies. You know what I'm saying? I still watch movies, and there's still certain musics that I listen to and things like that, right? But we got to be honest with ourselves. Like I am, you know, I'm transparent. I am a Erykah Badu fan. Zafar know this true. My family know this true. And I've been saying for the longest, Badu is a witch, right? But I still go listen to her music every now and then. I still go listen to that. But here lately, if y'all been paying attention to Erykah Badu, she ain't even covering it no more. She got it all out there. She wear the top hat. She looked like the Wicked Witch of the West on the Wizard of Oz now, man. And I never again will I play her music. If it come on, it just happened to come on, but I'm not playing. Why? Because scripture tell when you know that they are witching out there. Beyonce witching. She witching out there.
Yep.
You know?
Fact.
You know who is out here witching. When you know that these people are witching, leave these people alone. Do not patronize these people because you're going against our law. Do not suffer a witch to live. That's what that scripture means. Do not suffer a witch to live. Let's get on to what's crazy in the news.
What's crazy?
What we got, man? It is retarded. I see.
To touch on what you said about Erica, and I'm in the same town she has a studio, a house. The whole house is a studio, and each room have different gods. She wears certain clothes to bed. She wake up and put the things on her feet with the hair, the little fairy things that they be dancing on and doing all that stuff. She put all that on, and she's very scary. She's very scary. When she did that, everything like after she hypnotized everybody with the video, everybody with the video, that's when it started to go downhill. But we got in the news. Scientists have received a zombie virus that spent 48,500 years in frozen permafrost. So permafrost is more of, let's say, suspended animation. Or when you pause a movie, and you go back and turn the movie back on. You in control of it. So they are freezing these viruses that they are pulling out of water. Water. The same water that's been here before the flood and after the flood. Wow. So they going in and they digging in these certain areas like Alaska. We all know why they're in Alaska. They going up to Dubai. They digging around in cold climate areas like Russia. So now they sit there and decide to pull viruses out, studying viruses, and they keep them meditating. They telling y'all the climate control, the climate change. Now they going in and they tapping out ice off the icebergs and controlling the stages of viruses. So fast forward to how they put it out there. Well, since everything main ingredients is water. They discovered it in water. It was frozen in water, so they're gonna push everything through water. And for them, I don't even argue numbers. She already know I don't argue numbers. 48 to 50,000, man, who's gonna argue that? So if they doing that, which means they know where they're going. They know where the Noah Ark rested. They know where everything that was around it rested. So they are going to these certain pinpoints by the mountains where Noah landed. Somewhere areas where some other ones have fell off. They already digging up giants. They gonna put giant displays and fake dinosaur bones displays out there. But the majority of the time, that ain't how they look. That ain't how they operate. So the dinosaurs that they got in these museums, they look nothing like. You gotta remember they were splicing, sewing stuff. So when you see half man, half this, that was actually going on in the days of Noah. When you see mermaids, they weren't that beautiful, but they was out there in the days of Noah.
Sirens.
So yeah. So and that's where it goes into the scripture of Timothy. He said not to trust babbling, vain conversations, and science that's falsely called. So don't trust science because science is their God. They are chasing their God and they doing what their God telling them. They going to these certain points where their gods have landed, where their gods have been concealed. They go to a certain area in Egypt, certain area and at the end of the earth. And they deal with icebergs and they deal with where these people, where they gods are chambered up. So they extracted blood samples, coronaviruses, bringing them back to life with stable water. Talking about climate control, there's no such thing as that. By chipping off icebergs that's keeping them alive. They find them in icebergs. So that's what's crazy in the news, baby. And that is what we've been in for a while. We've been in the zombie apocalypse. We've been in the zombie apocalypse. This last one that we did a couple of years ago, that was just probably one of the 20, 40 ones they getting ready to release. So yeah. Wow. Let's love America.
How they be coming up with these numbers, man? That'd be crazy. 48,500 years ago.
Right.
Right.
And they'll tell you that, we can carbon date it back, and carbon dating is a
carbon dating is being proven.
Right. It only goes back to what, 10,000 years? That's so I think they be making up these numbers, man. But
just like they made that 5 million up. Well, I mean, we talking about the same people. They made up $5 million of reparations. So we just throw numbers out there. They gonna bite it because we the smart ones, right?
Yeah, they gonna bite it.
Look at the movies. Every movie, whether it's Harry Potter, Chronicles of Narnia, Rocky, every movie they've been the hero. But our book,
they not, and that's why they so upset with it. That's why they so upset with it. This is the reason why they so upset with it.
And trying to freeze things, bring them. How you gonna freeze something and not let it evolve and see what you just gotta go back, unfreeze it, and put your makers in it. That's crazy. You just gotta put your hands in it. You just got
it's crazy. They freeze them or they dry freeze them. They got 7 different studies, 2 different type of batch waters they keep. Man, it's like it's deep, bro. It's real deep.
I think we're missing a big word here, though. It's a zombie. Let me see. Let me do the scientists have a zombie virus. Look, man, they finna make us sick. I don't know many different ways for me to be able to say we have better align ourselves with our power, because there are going to be things that are going to be happening. Look, and I'm not speaking too fast. I'm not putting the cart before the horse here, but they just had a chemical spill in this country, and that chemical spill is going to absorb in the ground, and at some point it's going to be in the water. There's no way they're going to be able to contain all of that, on top of the evaporations that's in the air. So you're going to be breathing that along with the chemtrails that they be shooting in the sky every morning and every evening. And then when it rains, those chemicals fall down on our heads. They're making 3D printed foods. Hey, I just found out that there are US red apples that other countries have banned because it's got chemicals in it that's killing us. Look, they gonna make us sick. But we gotta have the mind state that David had. David said, look, 1,000 will fall to my left, 10,000 will fall to my right, but it will not come nigh to me.
Come on now.
You gotta have that same faith that Paul did when he was on that boat when he got bit by that snake. And them folks was looking at him because they know he was supposed to drop dead. Right. And he didn't.
And he didn't.
And he didn't.
They was calling, they thought Paul was God.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And the only way that he was able to do that is because they had the exact same faith as Hamashiach. Christians lied to y'all, told y'all that Hamashiach was a god. He was a man. And David, Joseph was his daddy. I'm gonna be here to tell you, Joseph was his daddy.
Come on. They go through the lineage in Matthew 2.
He came into this world. You better go read Wisdom of Solomon. But what the Messiah had, he had faith in his father.
That's it, man. That's it. Bring it up.
He had faith in his father. Man, these folks gonna try. Why in the world they gonna be out there digging up that gun 48,000, 50,000 viruses, man? Now I don't agree.
But check this out though. They found multicellular microscopic viruses inside of animals. That means mammoths. That means whatever was pre-flood, that's what they grabbing out of it. They using it. They digging out of animals. So, and along with the chemtrails, oh man.
Yeah.
Them chemtrails up there are viruses. Some of the viruses they found. So when it comes down, it lands in certain pods that they have out there. And they go collect them and they do say it's deep.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah. We be real vigilant, people. We have better be real vigilant and understand that we're dealing with Esau. And my brother came out of Joel. I'm about to come out of the book of Obadiah here in a minute. I'm about to come up out of Obadiah here in a minute. Say these people know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what they do, and they know exactly who it is that they are targeting as well. We are targeted for a reason. Remember, the dragon was wrought with a woman.
And he made war
And
with the
he
children.
went to make war with the remnant of a seed. And we are that seed.
That's who we are. Absolutely.
We are that seed. Let's get this last song in. Let's get ready to start wrapping up the show. We got a topic that Ayob is going to bring to us, and we got our buy sell, and then we're going to be up out of here. What we got, Gabe?
But I won't let it go, no, I won't let it go, I won't let it go, I won't let it go. The reaper trying to steal my soul, no, I won't let it go, I won't let it go, I won't let it go. Cause the kingdom gotta get it, 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 gotta get it. And the devil trying to get me, trying to get me, trying to get me. Tryna get me, tryna get me, but I won't let it go.
No, devil be gripping me, but I ain't slipping. See Christ in me, so it's no whipping me. Slapping these spirits like it was a spiritual pipping me. Came in the truth, my wife seen it differently. Into the truth, we split up a couple of times. Prayed the most high, she made up her mind and got on the grind. Well, it ain't no vision, the people diminish. Living in dimensions, no pain, no prison, I'm envisioning. With millions of melanin, but millions won't make it in. Sowing fear and tripling. I keep them in remembrance, keeping scriptures in my hand. Won't they go as if it's epileptic seasons and I'm gripping it, shivering. Seeing flashes at the end. Women, men, grabbing members, whippering. I cannot be one of them, so no watching born again. Water baby like christening, blood covered like hemorrhaging. Women showing treats, one trick and it don't make sense, paying them attention in. The irony isn't, go through hell trying to get to heaven. Diabetic living, no cakes, get it, no leaven. When they go like a 6-year-old, when they got your cell phone like a 65-inch TV with a $50 sale on.
I won't let it go, no, I won't let it go, I won't let it go, I won't let it go. The reaper trying to steal my soul, no, I won't let it go, I won't let it go, I won't let it go. Cause the kingdom gotta get it, 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 gotta get it. And the devil trying to get me, trying to get me, trying to get me. Trying to get me, but I won't let it go.
Kingdom is something that everyone trying to obtain, but can it sustain? Used to have dreams of gripping with grain and writing no foes with Kenny Drew brain, but that was so vain. See, I had to get saved, not the passenger seat, cause I was something like a ventriloquist serving the flesh. Man, I was sick of it, it was ridiculous. Got in that truth, became meticulous. Came out that water, I was conspicuous. Walking with light, like an Olympian. Turning my page, testing my fave on a new wave, like I was surfing the sea. Long suffering, going through ropes, WWE, cause Satan tried to take me out a couple of times. Car crash after car crash, life flashing like some hazard lights, almost give a young Izzy whiplash. Won't give up like a NASCAR driver, straight out of a body cast. I'ma keep having tunnel vision, cause turning back into kitchen flames, and all I see is flames. And you must be insane, thinking that hell an option, man. It's like walking through the walking dead, I know they want your brains, but I'm like me, Sean, with that sword, I'm on the chain,
I won't let it go, I won't let it go, I won't let it go. The reaper trying to steal my soul, no, I won't let it go, I won't let it go, I won't let it go. Cause the kingdom gotta get it, 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 gotta get it. And the devil trying to get me, 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 but I won't let it go.
Yeah,
so yo,
man, that's some Texas boys right there. That's Kadam, Ricard, and Aquan. Yeah.
Out of the whole. Now we normally have fire music, but the night, well, whoa, them Texas brothers, man, from top to bottom.
That's coming up out of Texas. I know Kadam Ricard's out of Texas. I'm not sure about Aquan, but I know Kadam Ricard is out of Texas, man. So, what's going on around the world, man?
Man, like we was talking earlier, so I'm sure everybody, if you ain't been up on the rock, you probably have heard or know a little bit about the East Palestine, Ohio train derailment back at the 1st of February. Now, today, of course, is March 9th. So from February 3rd, I believe, that the first train derailed carrying a whole bunch of chemicals. We just spoke about the chemicals in the environment, right? We just also talked about the conversation of the masquerade of a true conversation about reparations. And now all of a sudden, since 2019, the pandemic, all that. And then now coming up on the conversation about reparations, a masquerade of a true conversation that they think we believe that there's a true conversation. Now you have these train derailments, y'all, from Palestine, Ohio. Is that a coincidence that name and it is happening in a town of 4,700 residents? The Ox just mentioned chemicals in the sky. Oxafar just did a crazy in the news about viruses. Now, this train on February 3rd sent toxic chemicals into the air, soil, and the creeks. We just talked about it. Now, from what I understand, sure, there was another train derailment this morning somewhere. So that's a total of what, 4 or 5 in Alabama?
In Alabama, it's 3 here on our land, a total of 4 because it was a train derailment in another country somewhere.
So, yeah. So let's. I think we got a video clip, Gabe. Let's watch this clip, and we'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Ladies and gentlemen, East Palestine just had a dam collapse, and this dam was loaded with toxic water. So this water is now spilling out all over the place. They said it has a bad odor to it. Boy, what else can happen to this place? For real. I'm going to go ahead and play this video that comes out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Joining us for the news at 10 o'clock, I'm Chris Fry. This development now brings in a whole new element of fear and raises more questions about what kind of water is now spilling into the waterway. Michelle Nix live in the newsroom tonight with what we're hearing from the scene. Michelle.
Good evening, Chris. Sadly, the people of East Palestine can't get a break. They're telling me that water contaminated by the train derailment and separated into a makeshift dam is now flowing back into Leslie Run Creek and onto city streets. New fears in East Palestine from residents who tell me rain breached a man-made dam constructed by Norfolk Southern after the massive train derailment, forcing contaminated water in these photos to flow back into the creek and flood the area of Main Street. Eric Jake Koza tells me by telephone from East Palestine he's frightened to think about what could happen if toxic water seeps into neighboring homes and businesses.
I'm feared that now the chemical is in the ground, it's going to leach towards the water ducts, our aquifer for drinking water. I'm concerned that the park is now contaminated.
Koza's family has been diagnosed with chemical irritation or rashes on their skin. Now he says with the breach of the man-made dam, there's an odor in the air again.
I have fear. I've had fear, and this just put the anxiety over the top.
One East Palestine resident on social media posted that a work crew told him to get away from the overflowing dam, calling it dangerous. As for Koza, he says he doesn't know how much more their community can take. But this is a man-made dam?
It was the one that was making it deep enough to where they could pump the water out of the creek. They call them booms. So that it catches the chemicals before it goes further down the creek.
Yeah. So shouts to our girl Lisa Cabrera, man. Lisa Cabrera, she does great journalism work, and she always giving them folk the business. And she's very animated in the way she does. I love her journalism, man. I love Lisa. So shouts to Lisa but yeah, you see that. We just talked about it, guys. So before we dive into quickly from what the timeline is, you heard him say true fear and anxiety over the top. The young man was saying over the phone. That's real, true fear and anxiety. Now, before the last year and a half, what have they been talking about? Ready to do what? What's the most phrase you hear about? Get back to normal. Right?
Yeah.
Now, let me show you. Let's read in Exodus 12. Let's read some true anxiety and fear over the top. Let's go to Exodus 12:29 real quick. Exodus 12:29. You want to talk about all the plagues that came. Man, even our sorcerers can match what Moshe is doing. Even our magicians can top that. What is your God? It was mocking the Most High, right? Okay, everything was normal. Let's go to some real true anxiety and fear. And it came to pass that at midnight, the Most High smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants, and all the Egyptians. And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Yasharal, and go serve the Most High, as ye have said. See, that was true anxiety and fear over the top. They didn't pay attention to everything else. They did. They paid attention, but they thought, oh, we good. We still good. Everything back to normal. Until that last time the Most High showed his power. So now with this, everything went back to normal. And you just heard fear and anxiety over the top. February 3rd, train derails, spills all these chemicals. There's a big explosion. Now all the paint, and let me read some of these, just real quick. Let me read some of these chemicals that spilled into said that compounds release, and this is an article from the New York Times. Butyl acrylate, a clear liquid with a fruity odor that can cause breathing difficulty and skin irritation. Ethylenxyl acrylate, a clear liquid that is used to make paints and plastics that can irritate skin, eyes, and respiratory tract. Ethanol glycol monobutyl ether, a colorless liquid that is used to make paints and varnish. Y'all ever done your wood varnish, your parents or whatever, and you smell that for weeks? It over time it wanes and goes away, but it's real strong. So, and there's others. For the sake of time, I'm not going to read them, but you see the video of the dam broke. Now that stuff is in the water. Like the ox said, then it's going to get in the soil. There was another video I wanted to show, but if you go on Lisa Cabrera's channel, you can see it. Folks are already showing the 4,700 residents. They're already showing up to the quick care and the emergency rooms, y'all. Skin irritated. Can't stop coughing. Whenever they cough, there's a deep burning in their lungs. Headaches from the odor that's in the air. Now it's in the water. Y'all get where I'm going? We just read Joel 2:28. They having a true supposedly conversation about reparations on one end, but now this getting back to normal, now this fear and anxiety, the Most High is letting it creep into them. Things gonna get real. Just like Miss Raheem. They were like, y'all ain't going nowhere. What did he say? Get you, your cattle, and everybody, and get out of here. We're gonna give you gold and silver and jewelry. Leave. So, like I said, Palestine, Ohio, no coincidence. I think we looked up the population in Palestine, Ohio was like 0.3%, 4,700 residents.
They actually the black population in Palestine is less than 1%. It's 1.2%. And I'm gonna deal with that. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with that. We deal with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so y'all see where I'm going. The word establishes this right here. They thought they was getting back to normal. Then all of a sudden, now you got these trains derailing. That was the first one. Now it's been 3 or 4 more. You got these chemicals into the air. You got the chemicals in the soil. Well, let's build a dam. Oh, you see the video. The dam breaks. Now those chemicals are in the water. So now they're drinking it. They're smelling it. They're showing up at the doctor in the hospital with these symptoms. But the EPA is saying everything is okay. Y'all gonna return to your homes. 4,700 residents. Yeah,
did they really say that?
Absolutely. Let me find it right quick. EPA. Let me find it. Yeah, the EPA has released them back to their homes. I have to find it in the article.
I believe it. You find it, yeah. You find it. Go ahead and bring it up. Yeah.
So this says crews began March 2nd. Crews began removing tracks at the train derailment site a day after the EPA approved Norfolk Southern's remediation plans. Both parties confirmed to ABC News. The soil and gravel beneath the tracks will be excavated and sent away for proper disposal off-site, Norfolk Southern said. There are nearly 2,000 feet of rail to remove, about 1.5 times the height of the Empire State Building. With the removal of tracks, excavation of soil, and reconstruction of the rail should be completed. Everyone can now return to their homes in East Palestine, Ohio.
I don't see how that's possible.
Once again, I truly believe for this time in the movies, they've always been the hero. They've always been able to write the story. I believe this time they don't have an answer.
Yeah. This series is out of control. It's out of their hand. They've been controlling the weather, but they're not controlling themselves.
There you go.
What you got?
The train traveled 20 miles, man, before it actually got to Palestine on fire. Once it finally got to it, it stacked up. They left that cloud in the sky. They were supposed to go do something about it. And then now, if you ever seen white noise, you can't tell whether you're watching white noise or the news, because the exact same thing happened the exact same way.
Right.
But yeah, man, they experienced diarrhea. They throwing up. That just threw me off when they said they traveled 20 miles. There's other commercials where newscasters out there scraped the ground and poison came out the water. You can see it floating on top. Before the second round came.
Right.
Yeah, just right after it happened, the water was already poisoned. Man, that's 4 different areas it went through.
Right.
It traveled 4 miles, man. 4 different cities.
Yeah. A mandatory evacuation was lifted on February 8th after air and water samples taken the day before were deemed safe, officials said.
So wait a minute, is those samples, did they do the samples just like they did with COVID? Did they test the waste or did they test the fresh water?
Yes, they tested fresh water. They said, okay, you can return, and now everybody getting sick. Everybody. Bruh, it's only 4,700 residents in the town. You want to talk about fear and anxiety on the next level? If 2,700 people turn up sick, you know the apocalyptic movies with the fire in the barrels and people looking dirty. 28 days later, it'll be just like that. Yep.
You know, I was a kid one time, and I called myself being a good son, and I finna clean up the bathroom, right? And I got the cleaning bucket, took it into the bathroom, got some Lysol, pine oil, and I got bleach. I poured that bleach in that bucket, and I poured the pine sol in that bucket too. And it wasn't long before I got sick in that bathroom. I'm trying to do something good. The point of what I'm making is, dudes, you called out a whole lot of chemicals all at one time. Right. When chemicals mix, they become something else. They become something other than what they are. Look at crack.
Come on.
Two chemicals. You see what I'm saying? Two chemicals came together. Cocaine and baking soda came together, made crack. So you're talking about a train that exploded. We're not just concerned about the water, right? We're concerned about the air that we breathe in. We're concerned about the air that we breathe in. There is no way that it was deemed safe for them to go back after this train exploded like that, man.
When I seen that.
In that Exodus that you read, I want to finish something out here.
Yeah, go ahead. Please do, please.
You stop where he said, be gone. No, that's not where you stop. You stop where he said, rise up. Where did you stop at? Serve the Most High, and as you have said, right?
Yeah.
Check out 32 here. He says, also take your flocks and your herds, as you have said. And he said it again, and be gone. And check out what he said after that.
And
bless me also.
Come on, man.
I ain't playing with y'all power no more.
Right. I was just about to say. Now I
ain't
believe.
Right. I understand now. When you go into the book of Jubilees, you'll understand why Pharaoh was acting the way he was acting. I used to read this in the Christian church, and I'd be saying to myself, man, all he had to do is just let him go. But it was not Pharaoh that the Most High was dealing with. This was a war. This was a battle of gods. This was our power against Mastema. Go to the book of Jubilees and go check it out for yourself. Mastema had a hold on Pharaoh. And every time Pharaoh wanted to let him go, Mastema rise up in that boy and be like, nah, we ain't finna let him go.
Right.
Pharaoh was just a utensil. Remember, we just talked about that last week. We instruments. Pharaoh was an instrument, just like Moses was an instrument.
Right. And just like all the firstborn were going to be the instruments of Mastema. And then when the Most High took them away, Mastema was like, oh, snap.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
All right.
Check this out, man. Let's go to the book of Obadiah, man. They've been messing with us for a long time. The Most High brought us over here. I think it's in the book of Enoch, if I'm not mistaken, where the Most High said, look, man, I turned my children over to you, but you done overstepped your boundaries. You done went too far and beyond on what it is that you were supposed to do. I want to say this in the book of Enoch, right?
I think it is Enoch. I believe so.
I'm going to start at Obadiah verse 14.
Yeah, it's Enoch in the 90s, in the chapter of the 90s. Go ahead.
No, verse 15. He says, for the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen. As thou was done, it shall be done unto thee. I'm going to repeat that.
Come on.
As thou was done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. We're talking about a town called Palestine, and the population of Palestine is only 4,700. Now, when stuff like this happen, it normally happen to black people. Yeah. Only happen to black people. They'll run a little quick snippet on it on the news, and you don't hear nothing else about it. How long did Flint, Michigan go with bad water? They went forever. You better believe they finna try to clean these people's stuff up, man. They finna try to clean these people's stuff up. I got some numbers, sir. Ayo, Safa.
Run.
The racial ethnic group of Palestine, 89% white, 9% Hispanic, which leaves 1.2 of others. They didn't even say black, but that 1.2, that's us.
They ain't even say it.
The employment statistics in East Palestine. White collar workers make up 66.1%. Understand what white collar workers are. These are your business people. These are your shot callers.
Yep.
Palestine, out of this 4,700, 66% of these white people are white collar workers. Okay. Blue collars make up 33%. 102 individuals in Palestine are entrepreneurs. 1,500 work for private companies. 262 people work for the government institution. I'm giving these numbers because look, we be hearing this stuff happen to us all the time, right?
Mm.
It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun.
Right.
It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. What is the median average income in East Palestine? The average annual household income in Palestine is $58,000. That don't really sound like a lot, like when we talking about Ohio. Cost of living is different than it is here in Texas. Cost of living in Ohio is different than it is in New York. It's different than it is in California. $58,000, that's the median. While the medium household income is $44,000, right? It said people below, this here has got me. People below poverty level, 422, only 422 odd
people.
People above poverty level in Palestine, 4,109. You think these folks are concerned about what's happening over there?
Oh yeah, bro. You hear the dude said anxiety and fear. This is over the top. You got to listen to, like we said earlier, you got to listen to how they speak. It really shows their heart. You know what
they are concerned about what's happening over there. They're going to be running this story about Palestine over and over and over again. Most I said in Obadiah, what you done to my children, it's going to be done unto you. But check it out. Check it out. I'm about to wrap this up, man. The governor of California, in an emergency, he said it's an emergency and atmospheric river storm that is supposed to arrive. He said with strong atmospheric river storms bearing down on the state, it's creating flooding concerns following weeks of heavy snow. He says California Governor Gavin Newsom on Wednesday evening expanded an emergency proclamation on 21 additional counties. He said the majority of the state is not covered in snow. That's a lot of white people. That's a lot of white people. That's a lot. Now we know we get those in January, right? And I apologize, y'all, if I'm boring y'all, but he said what y'all done did to my children, I'm gonna do it unto you.
Bring it out. Bring it out, man.
He added. This is the governor. This here is Andy Beshear of Kentucky. Said that thunderstorms in his state produce wind speeds of 80 miles an hour. He added that 2 tornadoes swept through western part of the state first in McCracken County, the second in Christian County. Right? He says that on Twitter that there was 3 storms-related deaths in the state. One in Simpson County, another in Edmonson County, a third in Logan County. Now check this out. McCracken County, 82% white. 82% white. Christian County, 64% white. Logan County, 88% white. Hey, we need to be prepared for our exodus. It's like this here is out of their hand. They're not writing this script. There was another turnover train today, derailed train this morning in Alabama. And like I told my wife, I said, planes crash more often do trains derail. When last time you heard of a train derailing? And here we done heard 3?
Right, man.
3? These white people about to get that. And that's what I was saying earlier, that they was blowing smoke with that $5 million, but when you go back and read Exodus chapter 12, it's gonna come a time when they're throwing money to us and telling us, hey, y'all need to get up out of here.
Because they're gonna realize these tornadoes, these train derailments, these snowstorm in California.
Snow gotta melt, right, Ayo?
Right, the snow gotta melt.
How many feet of snow they got up there? It gotta melt. That's a whole nother catastrophe.
Mudslides, all of that. When that rain, when the water
in California, a whole mountain subject to slide off this foundation. A whole mountain.
And we're not even speaking hurricanes up season and earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? So,
see what I'm saying?
Once they realize these disasters is the Most High. That's what the Mizraim had to realize that. Like you said, they once realized, okay, this is happening because they're here, and we treat them harsh. And then they say, get out, leave. But if you keep reading in 12 or 13, after we dip, they tried to. They Pharaoh said, "Oh, that free labor is gone.
Yeah, it's gone."
So they tried to come after us.
Tried to come back and get it.
It's y'all. We stay vigilant, man, because it's it's gonna happen again.
You're not allowed.
And y'all gotta understand also in the book of what Jonah, where they threw him off the ship because the Most High stopped everything they had to do. They choked him out and said, "Man, what God are you serving? Tell your God to stop." So they know who we are because they know who they are. All this searching and digging is proving who they are. So they can throw atheism out there. They can throw all those other things out there if they believe in that book.
That's right. That's right. Story, man, and Ohio, man. And look, we're going to be seeing more of this, man. And I love it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And I know somebody gonna say, "Shit, you was wrong for that." I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
I don't know what kind of anxiety and fear when our families were getting torn apart. And
see what I'm saying?
Theologians say when Vespasian and Titus invaded 70 AD, invaded Jerusalem, that the fields, it was so many of us on those crosses where they crucified us, just like they did Mashiach, that if you looked out over stretches of miles, it looked like corn stalks. That's how many was up on those crosses crucified. Women, children, men, teenagers. You don't think you want to talk about anxiety and fear on that day when our ancestors saw them Romans coming through and nailing up, putting us up on them crosses? They said it looked like cornfields of corn stalks. That's how many of us was. And like you said,
his anxiety is so thick, his sweat looked like drops of blood. That's how his sweat was thick. That it looked like that's anxiety.
And you know, Georgia just got through talking about bringing back hanging by the neck. And we had just talked about that a couple of shows back, that it was still on the books. And that very next day, that was Thursday when we talked about it, and that very next day, which was Friday, I saw where they was talking, where the governor there was talking about bringing it back to the state. Look, these people never gave a concern about us, man. And this is what we need to start understanding as Black people, man. And I'm not wishing anything on nobody, no ill will on nobody. Shahir did not say that. But I'm going to give you back the same energy that y'all been giving me and my people. I'm going to give you back that same energy. I'm going to give you back that same energy. Y'all let them people of Flint, Michigan go years without no clean water. And you can't tell me that you couldn't have fixed that problem. You could have, but you didn't care to fix that problem.
Yeah.
White people go and jog every day in Central Park in New York, not realizing that there was a Black community, and they ran them all out.
Right.
My brother just did a critical race theory in San Francisco about a whole town that they ran off, and in the story they said that nothing but white people are there right now. There's a whole big in Virginia that used to be owned by a Black family that they took away from them, man, and didn't want to give them no money for it. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna sit over here and sip my tea, and I'm gonna look and see what train to derail on you white people. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's say, man, we got our buy and sell. We ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Let's get on to this buy and sell. Go ahead and run it, Gabe.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody Black. I am. Betting on Black tonight.
5 years ago here at the Emmys, you told us that you were rooting for everybody Black. Tonight, Issa Rae, who are you rooting for?
Everybody black, nothing has changed. It will never change.
This stuff is funny. Racism is funny. I get it. We've turned this into a little running joke, a little inside joke. We have the power. We have all the leverage. We now get to be racist idiots while complaining about the racist idiots of the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, these guys don't want to end racism. They want to benefit from it.
My boss.
Who want to benefit?
I know who she is. I can't think of the name of that show. Yeah, she had a show running, huh?
Yeah, her name is Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
Issarae. And I believe the show was on FX. I don't know if it was.
It was on FX.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't Atlanta.
It wasn't Atlanta. She produced one of those shows. It wasn't Atlanta. It was
a show. Yeah, she produced it and she starred in it as well. Yeah.
And in the show, I believe she played a lesbian female that had a relationship with a.
If she did, it must have been in the later episodes, because what part did I seen? She was always with some other dude. She was with somebody else.
Okay, then I'm wrong.
The Hate You Give. Yeah, she played in The Hate You Give. Is that a movie? That's probably a movie. Insecure. That's the one that I was talking about. Insecure.
Okay.
Yeah. But my buy-sell gentlemen, again, buy, you agree with it. Sell, you disagree with it, with what he said. And the buy sell is for Jason. Yeah, that's what it's for. Do you think that Issa Rae was a racist fool for what she said, that she's voting for everybody black? Buy sell.
Go ahead.
I sell because it's impossible for black people to be racist. It's highly impossible. We came over here with open arms. They did us dirty. We still tried to do stuff after the dirt was done, and with open arms, they gave all our reparations to everybody else, and they have no reason to not like us. We have every reason to be racist, if what they call racist. Y'all fed our babies to animals. Y'all cut our hands and feet off. Y'all kept us going. The Most High even told you y'all took it too far. So we have a reason, if there's a such thing, for us to be racist. Y'all hate us for no reason. We hate y'all for many of reasons. So I sell the fact that shoot, what he talking about? But yeah, he probably landed up with a white man right now. It ain't no way we can be racist. It's impossible for black people to be racist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sell. Everybody in the chat, look at that. Sell. My baby said sell and sell him to the other side.
They gonna throw me away if I come in and I say buy it.
Yeah, you company man.
Listen, I feel Jason Whitlock. That's y'all already know how I feel about Jason Whitlock. He in the same category to me as Charles Barkley, all them jokers but I sell it on the basis of, like Safar was saying, by her voting that, being for your people, that's the one question I would ask Jason Whitlock after he did that whole soliloquy. Her decision to only vote black, would that affect any of the votes and the trophy award winners? Probably not. Jason Whitlock. Whitelock. Her is racism is racism is the ability to affect and be able to decide someone's fate based on their color, not gender, not none of that other stuff that they're trying to throw in the pot. Every day they throw something. Racism is based on color, the color of your skin. I know you're qualified, but I'm a racist. I don't like you because of the color of your skin. And guess what? I have the power, since my skin is lighter or different, to not uplift you or give you what you're qualified for. Jason Whitlock.
That's right.
Answer that. So yeah, I sell.
Our brand new production manager is in the house.
So yes, sir.
Buy or sell, young man. Buy or sell.
I'm gonna have to go sell. Because honestly, for a very long period of time, and it's still a very common thing that we are our own, as a collective of people, we are our own haters. So it's very nice to see. I think the correct term is pro-black, being pro our nation. So I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to sell on that. That was not racist idiocracy at all.
Rumble, young man, rumble. Go ahead, bro. That's what I'm
heard it. You heard it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, you can tell the two people that's been to college. Hey, what's that word you said again? I had never heard that before.
Soliloquy. Soliloquy. That is a dissertation or a thesis statement. Ground to make. No, I'm just playing.
Sound like a delicious drink.
If I was sitting up with somebody and they use that word on me, I'm gonna roll with them like I know what they talking about.
Yeah.
Get in my car and I'm gonna pull out my phone.
yeah, you know, soliloquy. That's commemorate. That's what I'm. I would like to commemorize the statement. Like, what are you talking
about? Idiocracy.
Yeah, right. Idiocracy with democracy. What you got, Sheer?
Right. Nah, I sell that too, man. I sell that too. And let's get a hand as well to be able product manager. Let's get a round of applause for her to be able to stand up there on that red carpet and say and answer that question that she voted for everybody black. Get that girl a round of applause for that, man. She deserved that. Because in today's time that we live in right now, man, it's like Shaka Boom said, that was real brave of her to do that. And then she came back and they wanted her to, they remember what she said. Tell you, they always watching us. They remember what she said the last time. So the question was brought to her again. Have you changed your mind on that? Anything black, anybody black.
Right.
I got some of the comments from white people. I go to the comments on the videos. One of the comments said, I'm rooting for everybody white and the world explodes, being funny, right? If a white person was to say that and the world explodes. Well, that's what y'all been doing anyway. In the course of 95 years, the Oscars has been running. Can anybody guess how many black people got an Oscar? In 95 years, somebody throw a number out there. I'll tell you who is the closest.
48,000 years? I mean, 48?
3. 1? Nah, it's been more than 1.
Well, I only seen Chris Rock. So.
Okay. Yeah. 22. 22 out of 95 years. Only 22 Oscars have been given to black people, man. So y'all just been voting for people. So you don't have to say, if I vote for white people, the world explode, because that's what y'all been doing anyway, right? Listen to this one. White guy. Jason, thank you for speaking out against racism. I don't even know this woman. See, that's how white people talk. Y'all don't understand the words of this book. He said, what y'all done to my children, I'm going to do it unto you. They tell you if you're an alcoholic, in order for you to become a recovering alcoholic, you got to first admit that you got a problem. These white people never admit it.
No one has to.
They never admitted the wrong that they have done to us. In fact, they try to run away from it, right? But this is the one that got me the most. This is what they told Jason, and this is why we all agree that we could throw him to the other side, Shaka Boom. We still got good guys like you. That's what a white guy told Jason. We still got good guys like you. See, he got the appraisal and the love of the white community, but him to stand up and to say something like that, man.
Boy, Jason Whitlock.
Yeah, you're a good boy. Good boy. You did good. You did good.
He that one that stand on the porch and be like, who that nigga that on that nag?
Yeah. Cal.
That nigga that on that nag.
Oh, Mr. Cal.
When you burn your sheets and burn your bed and burn, you know what I'm saying?
When Mr. Calvin went down, Mr. Calvin, that nigga lost it.
Yeah, he is that nigga to say we's a sick, master.
Yeah.
We's a sick. The house is burning, master. That's Jason. Say, man, for that young lady to say I'm voting for anybody black, I dig it.
I dig it.
That's bold.
I dig it. Right.
I dig it. I dig it all the way, man. So check it out. You know what I'm saying? That's been the show tonight. That's the buy and sell. We like to thank Mr. Gabriel. Thank Mr. Gabriel for coming in.
Great.
He's going to be a regular until he quit. You know? Oh my God.
Quit.
He's going to be right until he quit.
Conflict of interest. Don't make it quit.
Gun, you really been a help, man. I appreciate it. And as you get more comfortable, your voice shall be heard more here on the show. With that being said, fellas, I'd like to appreciate you, man. We'll be back here next Thursday. We'd like to thank everybody for sticking around with us tonight. We'll see you same time, same date next week. Coming up the end of this month, we got a special guest that's gonna be in the house as well. It's looking good on that end too, huh, yo?
Yeah, it's starting to fill. It's filling that. It's starting to fill up. It's filled up.
It's filled up. All praises to the Most High for that, man. We give him all the praises, and we love y'all. We really do. Do not let it be underestimated that the love that we have for y'all for coming in with us, because we know that this is time and y'all could be doing anything other than being here with us tonight. So with that being said, Shalom, take us out of here, Gabe. What we got?
For the love of Hamashiach constraineth us. Because thus we judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead. That he died for all, that which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again. Wherefore, henceforth, we no man after the flesh. Yea, though we have known Hamashiach after the flesh, yet now, henceforth, now we know him no more. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, and all things are become new. And all things are of Yah, who hath reconciled us unto himself, Yeshua Hamashiach, and hath given us the ministry of reconciliation. To wit, that Yah was in Hamashiach.
Hold up, thou shalt not covet. If in you do, then you not my brother. Hold up, y'all really not thugging y'all flow. Y'all really not my cousins. Hold up, teaching that false doctrine. Y'all niggas really not my brethren. Hold up, speaking like false prophets. Y'all niggas really ain't talking about nothing. I am not joining your camp. I am not trying to follow no man. I am defiant to any advance. I am aware I am not in a trance. I know that I'm not supposed to swear, but I swear Judah Matthias got plans, I swear. Y'all do not want to go there because my Messiah gave me one more chance to lift up my hands, because I am a man who can lean to the side like a bicycle stand. Yeah, thou shalt not covet. If you ain't know, that's the 10th commandment. You are not my brother if you don't respect where you are standing, or whoever you stand with. You niggas really not on my bandwidth. You niggas silly to think you can tell me some bullshit and expect me to understand it. But I overstand it. My defense is the Tampa Bay Bandits. All I could do is pray for you to believe that you gonna leave this planet. All I could do is spread the word like a planting seeds for the lost souls who have been abandoned. Can you hear my voice? Say loud. That's what love will do.
slide with me. Weed through traffic, look at the manners. Peep the atlas, look at the eyelids. Young boys wild while you pacifying this bullish. Step behind the pulpit, got a full clip for every blue chip. The only AI we fools with is an Iverson. We was born in, not sworn in. So peace off, keep my tribe tight. That's our formula. Praise to the Most High. One thing for sure, homie, we all die. Lift every voice, turn a frown to a smile. 2 fish, 1 loaf, free my people from exile. Hallelujah.
For the love of Hamashiach constraineth us, because thus we judge, that if one died for all, then we're all dead. That he died for all, that which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them, and rose again. Wherefore, henceforth, we no man after the flesh. Yea, though we have known Hamashiach after the flesh, yet now, henceforth, now we know him no more. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, and all things are become new. And all things are of Yah, who hath reconciled us unto himself, Yeshua Hamashiach, and hath given us the ministry of reconciliation. To wit, that Yah was in Hamashiach.
Yeah.